Hello, welcome to Your Fucked Up Relationship, the podcast. I'm Dylan.
I'm John.
I'm Behnam.
I'm Justine.
Wait.
There's everybody.
Was it not recording?
No, the cameras were just not on you guys.
They were just not on you, but they are now. It was on them for our new and improved vertical.
That's right.
So I'm wondering if the hotkeys are not matched up. It doesn't matter.
They're good.
We'll figure
This
it out.
is good podcasting, you
Yeah.
guys.
Cool. Can we get into the technicals of OBS? I don't even know what it stands for, but we use it a lot.
OBS.
That's the program you're being recorded
great.
onto.
I'm following very carefully.
You're a programmer, right, Behnam?
It's true. I am.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you the reason when I talk into my Alexa every day, it works?
I can neither confirm nor deny this.
He will not conform.
Please conform.
Confirm nor deny this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice to have you both.
Thank you.
Our first two episodes had Scott, the boss, who accidentally called God.
The boss. Is
Is
that what we nickname him now?
That's his nickname. Accidentally called God in a rehearsal when I'm coaching a team, and the team is called Feed the God of Comedy.
Oh.
So we kept saying God because he plays God in that
Right.
show, and then I called him God on accident a few times, like just in normal life.
Sure, as one
In
does.
case you wanted to feel
What
his
is the
ego.
problem here? Yeah.
I'm glad we're really running away from the whole improv as a cult thing.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly.
With vigor.
Yeah. It's becoming a problem, I guess is what I'm saying.
Sounds like you got a complex.
Yeah, me. Yeah,
Scott
I have a
complex.
complex in that I think
Scott is a god.
He'll be happy to hear, I'm sure. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Does that make you God the Son?
I'm
Oh.
Jesus. I knew it. We are an improv show here in the Mission District in San Francisco, and one of my favorite shows called Your Fucked Up Relationship. We interview people about crazy shit that's happened in their life, and so that's kind of what this podcast is. It's like it's a spin-off of the show, so to speak, and
Very
we've
original.
asked you to bring some stories, which one of you has. Yes?
I can have one also.
You
Both of
can
them
also.
have.
Two of you has. Yay. Great. We don't have to jump straight into it.
Sure.
Especially if you need some time to mull it over. Since 20 seconds ago, I think you didn't have one. Is that right?
What I said is I have like options, but I kind of want to like get the vibes of what the stories are.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
Totally fair.
Benham, you're really setting the tone for
Yeah, totally.
Justine's.
I think it's fine if some people come in here and they just rip on their coworkers and their friends and families. And if you're comfortable doing that, way to go.
Yes.
I do not have that. I'm going to go with the first one that I thought of because I've been practicing it in the shower, so.
You took a shower for like an hour and a half today? to
Yeah,
practice
exactly.
it? Nice.
Well, this was over the course, like when John first asked me, which was maybe like a couple days ago.
Uh-huh.
And so this was like over the course of
That's what we
multiple
call
showers.
an OBS, an overthinking Behnam shower.
Yeah, that's
nice. Bringing it back.
Nice.
Bringing it back.
pew, 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 pew.
Thanks for. Damn. There's God's voice.
Okay, got it.
Got it. Yeah, thanks for stepping in last minute too.
Yeah, of course.
Your very handsome and tall, and as Behnam says, lanky partner was supposed to be here, but he's doing band practice.
He's got a band practice, yeah.
What's his band?
They're called the Souvenirs.
Uh-huh.
They play 90s rock covers.
So cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Love it. Have you seen them?
Yeah, several times.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
It's like not the genre of music I would be like seeking out
Sure.
regularly, but they're all very talented musicians. No, they put on a good show.
Oh
They're very
my
fun.
God.
You can go see them.
This just in.
No, I'm pre-plugging. I think they have a show in Lafayette on Friday, which will definitely be before this comes out.
And then
So,
you'll only
it
kind
was
of
probably
like it.
great. Oh, I won't be there. I have a show for another thing I'll plug later.
Oh.
Lafayette, California.
That's correct.
That's cool.
Flying to Indiana, baby.
Yay. Okay, really quickly, just because sometimes I don't know these things, especially with like another guest that we had, I didn't know. What got you into comedy? Why are you in improv? Are you still in improv? What are you doing?
Is this to me?
Sure.
I've always loved comedy. So it's just something that's like always been interesting to me. I started doing improv, I guess, regularly like 2-ish years ago. I got into classes at Endgames just before COVID. So I did my one-on-one class, and then everything shut down for like a year and a half. And then as soon as things opened back up, I like jumped back in and was in classes with these two bozos, which is very fun. And we formed our team, and it's just become a huge part of my life and community. It's very fun. So
Yay.
that's what I'm doing.
Early on, what was like comedy for you? Were you like watching it somewhere, something like exciting for you?
Childhood, you mean? Or?
Yeah.
So this is actually kind of funny because I grew up very evangelical. So my exposure to comedy was pretty limited. But I remember as a kid, there was a Christmas, I was probably like 9 or 10 years old, and I was gifted a cassette, cassettes of Ken Davis's comedy specials, who's like a very Christian, he's like almost a pastor, but he's like a Christian comedian.
Is that why none of us probably know
absolutely.
him?
He's not
The Rob
somebody
Schneider of his day.
but that was like probably my first exposure to like a comedian, and it was like these cassettes, and they were like these comedy specials that were like basically they always had like a message, and they were like basically a sermon, but it was like comedy. And I would like play them at night, and my parents would like say I would just be like cackling in my room listening to these cassettes. And so that was like probably my earliest comedy exposure, which is like very, very niche and weird.
That's what was his name again?
Ken Davis.
Davis.
I promise you it doesn't hold up.
Okay, not good.
So I was a very, very Christian.
So John, roll the clip.
We're gonna do reaction videos at some point to Ken Davis.
Nice.
Was there a pulpit?
That's
Was
close
there
to
like
Kim Davis?
I don't know. These were audio cassettes, so I don't know. But it was
Oh.
like he would like tour around and do like an hour special, but it was like it would end with some sort of like a message about like making the most of your life, or like I remember there was one where the whole theme of it was like he explained the meaning of the verse Jesus wept and like broke it down, but like as he was doing that he was like doing comedy. It's again, this is very weird.
No,
and
I will say
niche.
there. I also grew up evangelical. There's a whole ecosystem of crazy entertainers with like puppets
Oh yeah.
and marionettes.
Wasn't VeggieTales?
I am related to some people who are professional like Christian puppeteers, and they go in a nursing home.
Sure. Sure.
VeggieTales was like
Yeah.
VeggieTales is a big thing, but that's
That I
vegetable.
wouldn't call that like a cornerstone of my comedic background,
Gotcha.
but I did grow up on
Yeah.
VeggieTales as
Gotcha.
well. But yeah, I probably wasn't really exposed to like more like mainstream comedy until like college. I had an internship my sophomore year, where I was like in this office. It was super boring. I had nothing to do. I was basically there because like my dad's friend was like, "You need an internship," so he just like let me hang out in the office. But so I would be there for 8 hours a day, bored out of my mind. And I burned through like all of the comedy specials on Netflix, just like listening to them, sitting in this cubicle, and like mainlining comedy. So that was.
Is there one in particular that like blew your mind?
That's a good question. I can't remember if there was one that was like really outstanding. I just needed something to like get through. That's probably when I really got into John Mulaney was during that time. But that's a very like basic answer at this point.
I don't think.
Basic.
I
The
really
first
loved
comedian-
the Birbiglia specials. Those were like,
Yeah.
you know, those ones were
Big
super
League.
fun.
Very good.
Yeah, and then like Comedy Bang Bang. I started listening to Comedy Bang Bang. But this is not like deep childhood. This is like
this all feels relatively new.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is like
yeah,
because
yeah,
it was like I'd like gotten out into the world as an adult. And
Right.
had
Within the
exposure.
last 3 months.
yeah.
Have you heard about this thing?
John Mulaney. It's brand new.
You know it could be funny and not Christian? Yeah, it's possible.
It's crazy.
I in college, early college, like 18, 19, I went to school in Southern California, and I through a series of events, I ended up becoming the president of what's basically the atheist group. And then we went to a convention, kind of like they flew us to New York.
Because atheists love institutions.
They love it. Yeah. And then we started, it turned into a cult. It was really weird.
Notably a very bureaucratic people.
Yeah. It's like herding cats. It's really, and there was a comedian there. He's actually like kind of getting bigger. I can't remember his name right now. He's a redhead short man, but he was like the atheist vegan comedian. Which may have been quite the opposite of the guy you grew up on. Hey, puppet comedy could be cool, right, Behnam?
Yeah, absolutely. Puppet comedy is great.
I'm just
Hey, by the way,
saying-
check out all our comedy in the next couple months. There may be some puppet comedy there. I don't know.
Yeah, all
Public
up
comedy's
theater.
fine. I'm just saying it is. You have a lot of Christians to thank for your whole industry.
You're not wrong. I mean, the reason I got into puppeteering in the first place is I was like a child Christian puppeteer.
Oh, really?
For real.
Sorry, you were a child of a Christian puppeteer? Is that
I
what
was
you
a child and a Christian and a puppeteer.
You
were
were
a Christian?
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
that's like Dylan's like the most
Dylan
unhinged-
lore
Both of you.
unlocked.
Like,
What?
Oh yeah, I was
how
very
do you not
Christian.
know
Wait,
this
The
about you?
president of the Atheist Club?
Yep. He
Wow,
came a
you
long
liar.
way. He
But
came a
also, you're
long
the most
way.
like
Wait.
unhinged person I know.
No, I need
Yeah.
to. Did you grow up evangelical or like what? Because
It was
every
not
time we talk
evangelical,
about
it was, like-
Christianity, you like pepper us with questions like you can't even fathom it.
Oh, I mean, you guys were hardcore. You guys were hardcore.
Okay,
and,
so
and Tim.
you were what my dad would call a lukewarm Christian.
I guess so.
Whoa.
I mean,
Or
like,
like,
I was baptized
yeah.
and stuff. Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
so
like,
God would have spewed you
sick.
out of his mouth.
I was in the
Okay.
I was at the church. I mean, I from probably as young as I can remember up until like 13. I was like regularly at church, maybe once or twice a week.
Once or twice. Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
Wednesdays and
interesting.
I guess I'm
Sundays.
the only heretic here.
Wait, so wait, like what denomination were you?
It was kind of Baptist, but then later on, that church turned into like a very big catch-all, like universal kind of thing.
Interesting.
That's how they all go
they're
to get money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're huge now. They're not like televangelists huge, but they're big in the city I grew up in. They're the biggest, I believe. And every time my friend and I drive by it, we go like it's like Christian Disneyland. I mean, the building is
sure.
enormous.
Like one of these mega churches, they have like the concerts basically.
Yeah.
Sure.
Exactly. Yeah. And you need a microphone because everybody can't hear you unless you're sitting right up front. And yeah. It was interesting.
I did a guitar camp called School of Rock, and it was taught at a church.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was
That's
hosted by
that's
the
as Christian as
church.
you got.
That's as Christian as I got.
Was
So
it anything like Camp Rock on the Disney Channel?
I wish. It was sort of like
Were the Jonas Brothers there?
did we even have no, we didn't do Jonas Brothers covers. We did like that was the first time I was exposed to like rock music. And I remember we had like kind of like a show at the end of it all. And like the song that I was a part of was like The Middle, Jimmy Eat World.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on stage, and this other kid, like I sucked at guitar. This other kid was like, "Hey, I suggest you turn the volume down on your guitar while you're on stage."
Brutal.
And I did. And then my grandma was like, "I didn't really hear your guitar." And I was like, "Oh, it was there. You just can't hear."
I bet that kid was just jealous because you were
I
the best
know.
on
Oh,
stage.
Behnam.
Totally.
Everything
That's
will be
so
all
Camp
right.
Oh.
It's a great song.
I'm so glad I have this.
You're
button.
nailing it. Yeah. Does mine have one? I don't know what that says.
Oh, I kind of messed it up. I
Oh,
think
you tried to say
I was
something.
trying to say like I'm so cool, and then I think I pressed the button too late.
I'm so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It died on
Screwed
me.
up.
Yeah.
For those who don't have video access and can't see, we've got little easy buttons that we can program with catchphrases.
So fun.
And one of them doesn't work.
That's right. I
Mine.
think we need some
The blue one.
batteries. Behnam, what's your story?
On comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so also was a huge fan of comedy my entire life, I would say. I wanted to sort of do stand up when I was kind of growing up because I would watch a lot of stand up comedy.
What were you watching as a kid?
So it's a very basic
Ken
answer,
Davis.
but also John Mulaney. And I know that he wasn't like at kid level material, but like sort of the age in which I was like starting to like pay attention to comedy. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is what I like, because it was sort of very like observational humor and stuff. Like, and I thought it was like extremely clever, and like him and Mike Birbiglia. I love Mike Birbiglia. And so I was like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do stand up. And I tried an open mic night once, and it completely bombed. I was at the Milk Bar, which for those that don't know is like a kind of like a seedy-ish bar. And the open mic night was like Sunday at 10 p.m. And doing stand up at a CD bar like Sunday 10 p.m. is not a great sort of vibe. It's like 8 guys. And all the stand-ups there are just like talking about like, yeah, I used to like, be addicted to crack or whatever. And then I'm up there like, hey, I went to the cable car museum this week.
Yeah.
And, like,
So wholesome.
And I was like trying to be all like Mulaney observational. But how I got into improv was that my friend Chris, who everyone knows and is on our indie team, sort of like took this improv class in like kind of in secret, and was like, hey guys, like for his grad show, I was like, hey guys, I've been taking an improv class, come to my grad show. And it was only like an audience of like 3 people. This was like pre-COVID. But I was like, oh, this is so awesome. This is so fun. I was a little jealous that Chris didn't invite me to the class with him because we kind of like we're buddies since college. So I was like, come on, man, like we do everything together. But anyway,
You hear that? Fuck you, Chris.
no, I love him. And so yeah, then I started taking improv classes like when the vaccine came out, so April of 2021. So it's been like 3 years. And yeah, sort of stuck with it. And when I was taking it, I first was sort of like, oh, like maybe this will help with stand up, because I didn't realize like improv and stand up are like very different things.
Mhm.
And so like when I realized that, I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. I think I like improv better anyway. Generally because like you're in a group of people and like everyone's, supporting each other, but then like, yeah, you're not on stage by yourself. So
Mhm.
yeah,
So you took the vaccine so you could do improv?
that's right. Yeah. I was like, I don't care about this COVID shit. Just give me that vaccine so I can get in that room.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was alluded to earlier, but Justine and Behnam and I all met in an improv class.
Yeah, that's
after
right.
COVID.
were we in 201 together, or did we?
We
Because I know
Did
there's
201
like.
and 301 because I stopped at 401.
Okay,
Yeah,
'cause,
we
like
met-
half of our crew was like
Yeah.
together since 201, and then
Yeah.
we all kind of merged in 301.
Yeah, that's right. So we were in 201.
We were,
And I remember we had a scene about Netflix. That was like our first scene. And then
In the class.
I think in the class.
Wow.
That you remember your first
I was-
scene
yeah,
with Justine?
What was
I
the
remember
show?
my 1st
I'm-
scene.
No,
with
no, not
Jason.
first scene ever. Like just my first scene with Justine. Like
With
I have
Justine.
like sometimes
Oh.
I have like memories with like my first scene with X person, Y person,
That's
That's
whatever.
funny. I remember my first scene with Jason in class, but I
What-
don't.
what was
remember.
it?
We were like doing a pirate thing,
Oh,
I
that
think.
makes a lot of sense.
and
Yep.
and he was like, but what I remember is that he emailed me after class
Oh,
and
yeah.
was like, hey, like I was bringing some weird stuff and you like really met the energy, like you should come to the jam with us. And my first thought was like, ugh, this guy's hitting on me.
Because whenever a guy compliments
Wow.
you already
You
know
You hear that, Jason?
But he was not. It
You've
was
been
just
called
he was
out.
just being nice and a friend. And no, it's funny though.
Yeah.
I don't remember our first scene, but I'm sure it was great. I'm sure
Yeah.
we brought the very best comedy that's ever happened.
Absolutely. We were experts by then.
Understood game and everything. Right.
Totally.
Yeah, Behnam, do me and Dylan.
Oh gosh.
remember?
So I'm not gonna lie,
I
John,
know.
I don't remember our first scene,
That's
but I
fine.
do remember your first. Like I do remember like clocking you because you're very like a lot of historical facts, right? And so I do remember a scene with you and Mary where you were dropping a bunch of facts about like Illinois. I was like, oh, this guy knows his like history and geography and all that kind of stuff.
Let him have it. Let him have it.
You know what I mean.
Let me have it.
Dylan, I don't remember at all. I do. The only thing I remember is that, and this was very recent, is that Dylan comes out and does a Japanese accent.
It was
For a
Italian.
scene.
It was so
It
Italian.
was not Italian, and I felt so uncomfortable. Exactly. And I was like, this scene needs to be over.
How come you Italians get to do your accents?
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
right.
do mine. I want to say maybe our first time on stage together may have been with Scott for You Can't Fire Me, I Quit.
Okay.
So over a year ago, probably.
Yeah.
But we haven't actually shared the stage a ton until I joined
Mindbender.
Mindbender.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we've probably
I think I sat in with Turn It Up that one show when you guys were opening for
Last Spots Tura?
yes.
Yeah.
Who were very, very funny.
Yeah, so fun.
is that the musical group?
Yeah,
Yes.
the opera.
Yeah.
But I didn't really clock you at that time. Like
Mhm.
I didn't really know anyone in the group super well.
Sure.
But you've told me that you were there that night, and I think you were there that night.
I was there that night.
I think my first time I really remembered interacting with you was that time we all hung out.
Same.
Yeah.
yeah.
After it was like right after one of your shows. And
Yeah,
like
and you and Tim
before-
started making out in the back of my car.
It was sloppy.
It was hot. I was just driving in circles.
He's like, when are you guys done?
yeah.
Yeah, that was I think it was the first time I really noticed you or Tim.
Yeah.
Well,
Because I don't
you
think we had
chose
spent
correctly.
I was like,
by
I'm
the
gonna
way.
pull a card and see which of these guys.
we hadn't spent
less
any time
problematic to
together. I
date.
think also Chris, I met that night.
Mhm.
think
Yeah, it was
we
like a
went-
real merging of
Yeah.
Of, like, a
the
couple
crews.
I remember we all
But I
went out
think-
for drinks that night. We
Yeah.
went to
Standard Deviant.
Standard Deviant.
It was Standard Deviant, and then we migrated over to Zeitgeist after
Yeah.
that.
Was that like a Turn It Up group?
Yeah,
It was like Turn It Up had just gotten out,
and
then I think
some reason-
Confessional was happening, and I was gonna go see Confessional, but then you guys were like, we're all grabbing a drink, and I was like, oh, okay. So I like joined you guys to grab a drink.
That was a great
'cause
night.
I like knew
It was
Mary
such a fun night.
and,
That was
like, a few
funny.
folks.
I have a great video from that night
Yeah.
Of Brad and Mary.
of Brad and Mary
Yeah.
Explaining the layout of your apartment.
explaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
I
It's
love
so
it.
funny.
Wait, was that your current apartment or your old apartment?
My old apartment?
That was. I mean, both are crazy.
Both are a little
Both are just
crazy.
incomprehensible. There are mannequins everywhere. For people who don't know,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
there are mannequins
I'm trying to get a
And-
second
all
one.
over.
If you're
It's like
imagining,
House of
if you're
Wax.
imagining that the mannequins have heads, you're so very wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
And if
They
you think
do-
maybe they're clothed, wrong
Nope.
again.
Wait, they have heads. They're just not on the body.
Okay.
Yeah, where are they? I've never. Let me get the camera
They're
right.
under
I've
the
never seen them.
floorboards.
Little do we know, the mouths are hollowed out.
Did I tell you when I was? I mean, you were there, but when I was
No.
moving, I accidentally dropped the mannequin down
I have a picture of that.
of the dropped
Of
mannequin.
you with a like a disembodied like
Yes.
body parts.
And it's like 6 or 7 parts, right? Every limb is broken up into 2s or 3s, and so, anyways, I dropped it down a flight of like 20 stairs, and the people that were helping me move, you
The
included,
people. It's just me and Tim.
well, because there were 2 other people there that I hired.
And
remember?
it was sloppy.
There were 2 other people that I hired, and they just
That's
kind of looked over, and I went, Jose! Like, the first name that came in my head, like, I was like sad, and I was like as if I named the mannequin.
Okay.
They laughed. They got it.
I'm a little surprised that you didn't name the mannequin long before that moment.
I still it's still not named. Like, I don't even think the name Jose is what I yelled.
You didn't
but
stick with Jose?
No, it's not a Jose. I don't know. Let's workshop this. We got to
Yeah,
figure
we
this
can name
out.
it right
For
now.
sure.
Bill Clinton.
That's a good one.
I did.
I did a sketch with your mannequin because we'd like to
You
do
did.
like promo sketches for our indie team, and so like I came over to Dylan's place just to like hang out, and we sort of did like a small little promo sketch where it's like me and the mannequin are at a party, and I'm sort of like hitting on the mannequin
Yeah.
and telling him about my improv show.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Wait, this was for Industrial Kitchen?
Kitchen.
Okay, I saw this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can hear Dylan like heavily breathing into the camera as he's shooting it.
No. That was Jose. That was Jose breathing.
I had allergies that day. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I really like your sketch. Another video you did where you kept getting broier the more you podcast
Oh,
was
yeah.
so funny.
Oh, thank you.
Holy
That
cow.
That's
was,
what this is
me and
turning
Chris.
into.
Yeah. Slowly, we're gonna see him with like a flat billed cap,
Yeah.
and then he's gonna start looking like John,
No.
Yeah, the biggest bro we
biggest
know.
bro in the group.
Yeah.
I have a very distinct and simple style.
And
I
we
wear the
love
same
it.
thing
We
every
love
day
it. We
like a
love it.
cartoon character.
What proportion of your wardrobe is from the Gap or like a
now?
Gap affiliate?
Nowadays, a lot. It's not 100%, but it's a lot.
Mhm,
I think
mhm.
it's
Sure.
today all but my socks and shoes.
He's a walking ad.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. So. How would you describe your style again? Say it one more time.
Simple.
Mm-hmm.
What did I say?
Distinct, I
And
think.
distinct.
Distinct.
No,
it's the same thing every day, like a cartoon character.
Okay, Dylan,
Roll
do
it
you know
back.
the
Yeah.
answer?
I don't. I just
Roll-
wasn't simple. and
Roll that
distinct.
beautiful bean footage.
How would you describe yours?
Mine?
Yeah.
I feel like I've gone through like stages in my style. I would like to think I'm James Dean-esque because I wear a lot of white t-shirts that I tuck in. Yeah.
Justine.
It's great. My style's very confused. I've never once understood how to put clothes on my body.
Sure.
And I've been very uncomfortable most of the time.
Same.
Right now, my style is jeans and my boyfriend's t-shirts.
Okay, perfect.
But I actually spent like a good hour today Googling pants because I want to know how to
Okay.
wear pants that aren't jeans, and I don't know how.
If it's jeans and boyfriend's t-shirts, it's very much a stay away from me, I'm taken sort of look.
Well, and that's
Oh.
not what I want. What I'm going for is like she's clearly a bisexual woman, and I don't
Oh.
think I give that at all. I once like went home, like the last time I got my like did the shag. I got the shag,
Mhm.
right?
Are you trying to lesbian it up a little bit? Like,
I would like to appear a little more queer than I
Okay,
do. I
all
don't
right.
think I don't think I read as queer,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know how to dress myself.
Sure.
So any tips are appreciated. I wear the same
Then
white
you're
shoes
asking the
every
wrong
day,
audience.
which I
No. I have a tip, and it's a face tattoo, and it's
face tattoo.
rainbow tears.
Yeah.
That's what I think you should.
You'll
Oh man,
get-
you know
you'll
what I
get all the
just
girls.
realized is that this is going out into the world, and my family doesn't know that I'm queer.
You just outed
So
yourself?
I may have just
I-
outed myself.
I think
I
you're
don't
making a
think-
big
I don't
assumption
think
that
they'll
this is
see
going
it.
out into the
We
world.
don't edit.
You'll see.
We
You'll
don't
see.
edit.
I think you're fine.
But we can also edit things out upon request.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Jackson's already taken the brunt of the heat, so it's all
There you
good.
go.
Great.
Well, it had to happen somewhere.
But
Why
no,
not
I'm,
in this
I'm,
rainbow
I'm
room?
in the market for I don't
A
know.
girl?
For girl? No.
For girl.
I meant like clothing wise. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
like
okay.
no, yeah, I don't know. I'm working on it.
Have you
Style.
tried
Check in
just-
at the end
yeah.
of the
Maybe
you
you're in the
tried just,
market
like-
for a queer person to, queer you up a little
Sure.
bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
or just Googling.
You have no. If you looked at my search history, it's like buy women style,
Uh-huh.
buy women clothes, how to
B-I or
look bi.
B-U-Y?
Yeah, B-U-Y. Yeah, I totally agree.
Is that what comes up in the...
B-U-Y, buy women. Yeah, that's that would not be giving me the right results for sure.
I'm asking because for work reasons.
Sure.
I want to know how to better market.
No, I'm
SEO.
also constantly trying to figure out what search terms people are using.
Fuck buck. For queers by queers. It's a FUBU reference. That's a really old reference.
Great.
I know FUBU.
Do you know FUBU?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. It might be before your time.
I know
You're young.
FUBU from Shark Tank because Damien
Wow.
is on Shark Tank and he created FUBU.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know
It
that.
features very prominently in an episode of Atlanta, a show which I highly recommend.
Yeah, very 90s specific. Echo. Do you remember Echo?
No.
No? Okay. It had a little
do
rhino on it. It was cool.
Oh no, I do remember
Yeah.
Echo.
Oh, yeah,
Mark
yeah.
Echo. Mark
Yeah.
Echo?
It's out. It's out of style, I'd say now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I like in middle school I really wanted to sort of like dress cool to impress, the kids and all, as we all do. And I like bought a set of like really cool shorts and like New Vans shoes and like these like sort of like socks where you like can't see them, so you can like it just looks like you're just
Some
wearing
low
the
cuts?
shoes. Yeah.
But this.
And I was so excited, and like the socks were we did laundry, and then like the socks were still in the washer as I was about to go to school. I was like, no, I need these socks. So I put on the wet socks to go to school.
No.
And then when I was like sitting in my class, I like took the socks off to hang so they could dry as I'm like sitting there. But I was like, I look so freaking cool right now.
with your wet sock next to your desk.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
That sounds pretty cool.
Dylan, how would you define your style?
It's all over the place. Basically, whoever I'm dating at the time picks my clothes.
So
My
Janine
first.
chose that.
No, this is like at this point it's an accumulation of ex's clothing that they've
Okay.
chosen for me.
Great.
This was bought by my last ex. This is just a white tee.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm going for ethnic Justine and some some Adidas pants.
So similarly to Justine, it's just like jeans and a partner's piece
Yeah.
of clothing.
Mm.
Yeah, but a partner that they've like it's something they've chosen for me, whereas you're wearing your partner's
I'm
clothing.
just because he has so many more t-shirts than I do, and like I
Yeah.
over the past year or so, I'm like maybe I'll just do jeans and tees, and that feels safe because like I for some reason right now I like can't really get myself to wear like a dress or a skirt. It just feels weird.
Mm-hmm.
And like we both wear a medium, so I'm like, look at all my new clothes. We just moved in together. I have so many new clothes.
Mm.
They say the benefit of dating a woman is it doubles your wardrobe, but if you're the right kind of woman, you can do that with a man.
Mm.
What's been the best outfit that a like partner has gotten you? Like your favorite outfit?
They like a lot of the jackets are the things that last long, right? So like the shirts and things that kind of
Right.
goes by the wayside. But yeah, there's been just like some jackets and sweaters that people have picked out. I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah.
I get so many compliments on this thing.
It's a cool cardigan.
This spooky cardigan.
I used to go through a cardigan phase in college. So.
Yeah. I could see that.
Was there a song, like a theme song, when you would walk down there like cardigan venom?
This
There he
cardigan's
goes.
made for walking. No.
That's two different songs we just sang.
Okay. Well, let's merge them.
All right. Can you please quiet your guitar
Okay.
down? I'm sorry. I just.
We can meet in the middle.
Was that a joke?
Damn.
Nice.
I've made a few Jimmy Eat World references
Yeah.
since
Great.
Venom's mentioned them.
I have missed all of them except that one.
Yeah.
So this show ostensibly is
Uh-huh.
centered around a story.
Yeah, let's hear some stories.
That
I'd
somebody
love to hear it.
has.
Who wants to go first?
Benham's he's prepped.
Who won't go?
I can go first. So this is not a relationship story because I technically have not been in a relationship, nor I would say this is fucked up. But when I told my friend this story, she said that like what I did was like fuckboy level material. So we can throw it to the masses.
Let's explore.
To see what it was.
We will be voting at the end.
And I do want to preface first by saying like this is a wonderful person and I'm still friends with this person. But anyway, getting into it.
Do we know them?
No,
Okay.
you don't know them. So the year was 2018.
What was on the radio? What were people wearing?
Oh man, James Dean-esque material.
Music or yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's right. So basically, like, so I was like I working in a research lab for a company, and this lab we collaborate with university students from like all around the world, like PhD students, and we kind of fly them all out to sort of like meet them and get to know them and stuff like that. And one of the universities, I'm not going to say the exact country, but it was in Europe. And the person I saw, we'll call her Bella. I was like, that girl's cute, but I'm not going to talk to her because she probably has a boyfriend, which is the first thing that always goes to my mind when I see somebody that I think is cute. I'm like, well, they must be dating somebody. And so we didn't really talk. We just sort of like, you know, like professionally, like, oh, hey, how's it going? Stuff like that. Now cut to like end of February, March 2020. Like the collaboration is like done. Like they don't really collaborate with us anymore. But before that, we had like somehow exchanged like Instagram handles, and she had like posted something on her story, and I think I replied to it, and then we started like sort of talking more and more, and eventually I was like, do you want to like get on a video call? And so over the course of maybe like a year, it was like this virtual sort of dating experience of like texting a lot, like video chatting a lot. We had told
Past
each other
lives.
yes, I saw past lives on the plane, and I was like, this is like what it's like that. For those that
Except
you
you
I have not
you
seen
did, you didn't
past
meet each other when you were
lives.
young, and you're not Korean.
yeah, that's right. And so, and we had like told each other we liked each other. So, but it was never like a relationship. Like we never like defined it as a relationship, but it was like kind of like we were dating, like basically. And so like that had happened, and this was like, you know, during the pandemic and stuff. So we couldn't like, you know, see each other in person or like fly or whatever. Now this I would say is like the portion of the story, which I guess, I don't know if I'm the fucked up one in this one, but you could like debate it. I was sort of like after a while kind of being like what's going on here? Like this doesn't make sense. Like we're like halfway across the world from each other. And I had to like, you know, wake up like on the weekends at like 7 a.m. to like talk to her, right? Because of the time difference and stuff.
It's like a work call.
Yeah, it was like it was like a lot of work. And so, and then someone that I liked in the past, she was coming to San Francisco to do an internship. And so I was like, well, I feel like it makes more sense if I date this other person. So I got on a call with Bella. I was like, hey, I think like, you know, we should be friends instead. She was, of course, very sad. I felt very bad. And that's, my friend said like that was like the fuckboy level thing. I don't know if that's right, because she was like,
I feel like there must be more context for that to be a fuckboy thing. If you just like were like, hey, this doesn't make sense, and you let her down. Like, did you say to her, I want to pursue someone else?
no, I did not say that.
Okay.
Should I have said that?
No.
Yeah.
Did you say I'm gonna go James Deaning somewhere else?
I
need to
Should
spread
I
my
have said
wild
that?
oats. Well, that's more fuckboy.
Okay.
I think James Dean's a bit of a fuckboy.
It sounds to me
Sue
like
me,
you
Hollywood.
just ended a situation that wasn't working.
I don't know. I mean, I ended it. I didn't say like, I was just like, you know, this seems like, you know, we're long distance and stuff. So, but no, I did not bring up this other person. You know, they did not overlap with me at all. In fact, they didn't even come to the San Francisco at the end of the day. They they change their mind and stuff. But I don't know. When I told this story to my friend, she assigned the label of fuckboy to me.
You know what? I think your friend's a fuckboy, and they are just projecting.
Yeah. You hear that, Karen? You're wrong.
Yeah, Karen. I'm gonna look right into the camera. Karen, you're a fuckboy.
No, okay, I love Karen. She's an amazing friend. She's an awesome person.
Karen, you're an amazing friend, an awesome person, but a humongous fuckboy.
Here's something about Karen, and I've always said this: Karen fucks.
Yeah, that's right.
You know.
Anyway, but that's not the end of the story. Basically, so that happened. 2 weeks go by with us like not talking. She reaches out and we start texting again. This time purely as friends and like just texting, no like online or anything. And I was at like a rooftop party and I was telling this story to like people and I was like, did I mess up? Like was this like the person for me? Like, could you, and like I'm very much like kind of a romantic. So my mind like fast forwards a lot. And I'm like, could you imagine the story we would have told our grandchildren? Like we lived on two opposite sides of the world and we got together and stuff. And so they were like, we should go on a trip with her. And so I was like, okay, sure. And then I texted her and I was like, do you want to go on like a trip to Europe with me?
This is after you kind of dumped her.
Kind of.
Just so we get the chronology straight.
Yes.
Okay.
And the idea here is to go on a trip to Europe to determine if you are interested.
Yeah, kind of a thing. Okay. So
no, I want to hear the rest.
Yeah. And so we basically book a trip. And the thing is, I didn't know whether or not she still was interested in me.
What was her, when you said, hey, let's take a trip together? Was she like instantly like, yeah,
yes,
absolutely? Okay.
Instantly she was like, yeah. And then like had found a place.
May I ask, did you pick somewhere romantic to go or did you go to somewhere like the Netherlands?
We picked,
burn on the Netherlands.
Yeah. We picked, Santorini, Greece, which is
Greece.
very
Okay.
romantic.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fucking
going to go ahead and say,
That's hot as hell.
if a woman has been interested in you
Yes.
and then you kind of not ghost her, but you let her down.
Yes.
And then like 2 weeks later, you're like, take a trip to Greece with me.
Yes.
She thinks that you are in love.
Yes. And that's why I'm the dummy and bad person in this, right?
I'm going to go ahead and make an official retraction.
Yeah.
Karen, I'm so sorry.
Karen,
I've done bad.
Karen, we were not given the full context.
Yeah.
You are not a fuck boy.
But
or
so
person.
we go on this trip, but I'm like very clueless and very like anxious about these things. So I didn't know whether or not to make a move or not. I mean, we were even like sleeping in the same bed together, and I still was like, I don't know if she's interested in me. I'm not sure.
I'm a
Big oof.
You booked a trip to Greece and you booked a single room with a single bed.
Yeah.
With a presumably single woman.
Yes.
Sometimes I feel like I could help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also want to. So Santorini, it's like on a hill, on an
Yes.
island.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
Yes.
Did you? Are there like donkeys up to the top? Did you ride a donkey together?
We
That's
didn't.
romantic.
We didn't ride a donkey because I felt bad for the donkeys. Like they're not like really like treated that well. But like we were like overlooking the cliff. Like you could see like, you know, the volcano in the background. It was actually like a big Airbnb we booked, and there's like also a hot tub like outside of it. So it was very romantic vibes. But yeah.
Did you get into the hot tub platonically?
Yes.
Okay.
It was platonic the entire way out.
Wait,
And
and I know that you're not like always picking up on these stuff, but
That face
was she
is
doing
so good.
anything that could have been interpreted by like maybe a normal person as like putting out vibes?
I guess we cuddled.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it.
And you were like, this is friendship cuddles.
I don't know.
In a jacuzzi.
I was nervous
in
the
Greece.
entire time.
Well, okay, that's whatever that is. That's not fuckboy behavior. I think we can agree. Karen, you're not a fuckboy, but Behnam, you're not a fuckboy either.
I
What's
don't
the
know.
opposite of a fuckboy? What is the opposite
I
of a
think there was
fuckboy?
a lot to learn from this.
Sure.
And anyway, we didn't talk about the entire thing until towards the end of the trip. And I was like, "Oh yeah, this was great." And she was like, "Yeah, this was great." And then she sort of was like, "Yeah, I was confused because like I thought something was going to happen, but nothing happened." So then I was like, "Well, I guess he didn't like me or whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm dumb." And then like I went back and I was like depressed for like 6 months. I was like, "Idiot, like you messed up. It was so dumb." anyway,
This explains a lot. Behnam.
yeah. Closing out the story, like we are friends. Like she visited, I think, last year with her boyfriend, and she's actually married now, and which is great. So it all worked out in the end of the day. But yeah, that's the general sort of.
I don't know.
gist.
Sometimes though, it's nice to be pursued. Maybe if
Yeah.
you're in a hot tub with somebody and you both like each other, maybe they should come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess like yeah, I mean like if she told the story, like it would basically be like this guy showed interest, then stopped showing interest, then it seemed like he showed interest, then didn't do anything, right? So yeah,
I think she came out with her husband because she wanted something to happen.
And
I don't
Dylan
know.
has re-entered the chat.
yeah, that's right. And yeah, I guess that's the general gist of the story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dylan
That's
asked
a
a
little
question
fucked up.
earlier, which is what is the opposite of a fuckboy?
Behnam.
Well,
I don't
is there
know.
like a
Wait,
an acronym?
you are? I'm confused. What do you
I-
want to be?
Yeah, what
I
do you wanna be?
I don't want to be. Well, what's the opposite? Yeah.
An incel?
I almost said a cuff
No.
boy because it's QUF, I guess,
Oh.
but I don't know what that stands for.
That works because like cuffing season's like you get into a relationship. So
That's
like
true.
a cuff boy is
But
like
cuff
probably like
also-
real loyal.
I feel
Not
like
playing games.
just cuffing, that's fucking.
Mm-hmm,
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's it's
Yeah.
kinky fucking.
It's kinky. It's
Sure.
kinky. Yeah.
Just I don't know. Is that too risque for what we're trying to describe here?
Probably not.
I'm gonna gift you some cuffs, Behnam, and I want you to
Okay.
tell me what you do with them in the next 6 months.
Sounds great.
Okay.
I just blacked out while telling this story. So
You said her name and address. It was
okay,
crazy.
great. Perfect.
Yeah.
Bella, if
Ciao,
you happen to
Bella.
be listening, I apologize. But clearly you're very happy, and that's it.
But if you're looking for a third, wink,
Wink.
Yeah.
or just somebody else.
Yeah.
Nice.
Was that good? Was this
That was
good?
great.
for-
Yeah,
That
it
was
was
great.
fabulous.
It's great. It's very foundational to who I know you as.
Sure.
It's
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
And
it's
you got
non-romantic.
a different perspective because you got a story where the interviewee was the fucked up one, which is always fun when we do the show, right? And we get someone like that.
That's true. That's true.
Um,
I don't think you were fucked up.
Not at all.
You were shy.
It was
We've all been there.
it was
Yeah,
a,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
a weird situation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot to learn.
Ooh. Aside from wrong button. Aside from all of that, do you have any spanakopita?
What?
It's that flaky Greek pastry with the cheese
Spanakopita.
and spinach. Spanakopita?
I
That's
don't
how I
think
was-
I've
I
had
was-
that. I did have this like dessert at Old Jerusalem that had goat cheese.
Was that the one that was like orange and flat?
Yeah.
that they did?
I
That
Is
one's
that the one
very
that we
good.
all ate?
No,
prior
that was
to
the
you?
baklava. We
Ah,
have
yeah.
video of that as well.
Oh
That's
yes.
good.
So
they felt so bad
for
for
those
Old
that don't
Jerusalem,
know-
give us money,
yeah.
please.
For those that don't know, I bought a baklava at Old Jerusalem. We were all getting dinner together. I put it down. I went to use the restroom. I came back and they ate it. But Old Jerusalem, they're very nice. They
We
gave
were
me
gonna
another
buy
one for
it was
free.
it was always gonna be we were buying you a new one, and it was
Yeah.
very much Dylan's idea. He's
Okay.
like,
No.
let's eat this dessert.
Come on.
That's
I didn't even
deeply
eat any of it.
cruel.
Yeah.
It was very funny.
But they were very nice and they gave me a new one for free.
Mhm.
And yeah, go check out Old Jerusalem.
They are great.
They are great. Like
there's a
the
girl
f-
who works there, and every time I go in, she's so sweet to me, and
Yeah.
I call her my girlfriend, and she's
Yeah.
very.
I
cute.
knew it. I knew you were into her.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
subtle.
Me too.
Sometimes I feel weird because like
the
I'll go in
fuckboy
there
now?
to like I'll go in there to like kill time sometimes, like if I have a show across the street. And I feel like because I show up a lot, I always get paranoid where they're like, oh, this guy again is in here.
No, they're sweet. They like us.
Yeah. And if it's not busy, I'm sure they're fine. Old Jerusalem, right across the street from Endgames Theater. I'm trying to think if they have a catchphrase. Probably not. Come eat our desserts.
And also the food that we make that's not dessert.
It's not new.
Oh,
It's
also
old.
they have a mural on their wall, and I think it's got like a killer whale jumping out of it, and I
don't
love that
remember.
because
Yeah.
I don't often think of a killer whale in the
Jerusalem.
Mediterranean, but I guess they live there.
Sure.
Wow, that's great stuff.
That's some-
Great stuff.
Sorry, I feel like my story was kind of a bummer.
No, it's not at all a bummer. It's not at all a bummer. Yeah, podcasts have ebbs and
And
flows,
flows.
like the ripples that emanate from when a killer whale jumps back into the Mediterranean
Great.
Sea.
Lovely
Um,
transition.
Yeah.
Justine, tell us about a time you were a fuckboy.
So actually that's a great transition because the story I did kind of have I don't know if I'd say fuck boy, but I was certainly the one doing the confusing
Okay.
moves.
Okay.
Okay. I was seeing someone. When was this? I guess probably also around 2018, 2019.
The year of
Because it was
love.
pre-COVID. Yeah, the year of love. Yeah, it was someone I had matched with, I think on Bumble or Hinge, one of them. And we were seeing each other for like 3-ish months, I would say. We had really good chemistry. We like got along very well. But just for a couple of reasons, this was like not someone I could see as like a long-term partner. Like we had like fundamental differences, I think, in the way that we like viewed the world and the way that they communicated. I'm saying they a lot. It was a man. The way he communicated, I don't know. It just didn't. I don't want to say gaslighting, but like there was definitely like issues there where I could tell.
Sounds like a fuckboy. Karen, was this you?
Karen?
No, we love Karen guys.
Yeah, sure.
No, he's like a nice enough guy, but he definitely like lacked a certain level of like empathy and emotional intelligence. And we've like talked since then, and I've like given him a relationship advice, and he's like, wow, that like makes a lot of sense. I'm like, yeah, it's easier to explain it when you're like outside of it and can like identify the issues without being emotionally attached. Anyway, we were like 3 months into this thing, and I'd pretty much determined, I'm like, I don't think I can keep doing this. Like, I need to kind of cut things off. And so I like wanted to meet up with him and like have a conversation and be like, hey, like, I think we need to like step back and be friends. And so I reached out and like, can we do something? And he's like, yeah, like, let's go to Hardly Strictly. And I was like, okay, good environment for this conversation. And for those who don't know, Hardly Strictly is like a free bluegrass festival that happens. I think it was October.
What year was this?
I think it must have been 2019.
Okay, so
Is
we
this
didn't
like
know each
Stern
other.
Grove? Is that where they have it?
No, it's not.
It's
Stern Grove.
it's Golden
in
Gate Park.
Golden Gate
Yeah.
Park, San Francisco.
Yeah. Okay, so we go to Hardly Strictly. We're like hanging out. We split an edible.
Whoa,
How many mgs?
Justine.
I don't know. It was like a truffle.
A truffle.
Yeah, from the truffle man who walks around. He has the truffles.
Oh, gotcha.
So we split one of those.
the truffle man, the truffle man, the truffle man? He'll get you high.
But yeah, I'm really bad at having these kind of conversations because I like don't like
Yeah.
the making someone uncomfortable and like
Yeah.
hurting someone's feelings. And so we're like hanging out and we have truffle and we're like chilling, and I like keep wanting to like kind of bring it up and I like can't quite get to it. But eventually I like get it out, and it's like a weird time because we're like just chilling in the grass and there's like music and we're like both like a little bit high. And it's fine. He's like, he was like bummed about it and was like, oh, I'm gonna miss you or whatever. I'm like, yeah. So then it ends, the festival ends, and everyone's like filing out. And we try to call an Uber, but there are like no, like Ubers are surging like crazy.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, like let's go to this bar and like hang out for a little bit until like Uber prices go down.
What was the vibe after you said it?
He was like, it was like awkward, and he was like
Yeah.
bummed. I mean, it was like it wasn't like we were like in love, right? Like it was
Yeah.
pretty early on. And like a lot of the reason that like I wasn't feeling like it was going to work out is because like he was a consultant and he was like really, really invested in his work. And so we like almost never had time to like spend the way I wanted to. Like I wanted to have like actual like what's the word, quality time together. And his idea of quality time was like I could come sit on his bed while he worked, or like the days that he wasn't working he fell asleep so much because he was so tired because he was working all the time. And I was like, I came over here to hang out and you're just asleep. So it was like stuff like that where I was like, it's just our needs are not aligned for the relationship. So it wasn't we were like in this super deep thing, but it was like we were having fun and we liked each other. So anyway, it was like awkward. It was very awkward. Like
What's
we
his
weren't
name
really...
and address?
Wait, is this the fuckboy, the confusing thing that you're?
Yeah, I'm getting to where I was
Okay.
being confusing.
Okay, gotcha.
Sorry. I'm just like setting it up. The
Right,
first
right.
bad move I made was that I was like came into a music festival with the intention of dumping someone,
Right.
and also took an edible with them before doing this.
Well, I think that's like the gentlest place to let somebody down.
Sure.
Both high and while the
Listen to
sweet,
some
sweet tunes are
tunes.
going around.
Great.
And if he was sad, he got to be at a music festival.
Sure. Absolutely.
Now maybe he now associates those tunes forever with the internal sadness he has
Great.
from that moment.
Yeah.
So did you ruin bluegrass music for him? Maybe, but that's not for us to know ever.
I think he's okay. No, the next portion of the story is where I'm really probably making some confusing moves. So anyway, we go to this bar to like hang out and wait till Uber's chill, or like, we can get something home. And while we're at this bar, another thing about me is that I have in the past had a tendency to faint. Something with blood sugar, I don't know. But on this particular day, I was dehydrated. I'd had half an edible and I'd been in the sun all day. So I'm at this bar and I faint. And I like come to, and he's like got me in a booth and he's like taking care of me and he's getting water. And I'm like looking up at this like very cute person who's like being very nice and taking care of me. So obviously I started making out with him.
Yeah.
As you do.
The same mistake the Sleeping Beauty made.
Yeah. It's so true.
Yeah.
It's you get sucked into it. And then we get home and I like make out with him again. And then he's like, hey, like
And it was sloppy. Yeah.
that's gotta be the little catchphrase.
See, this is
here.
why you don't need a button, because you are a human catchphrase machine.
That's right. That's why mine's broken.
But yeah, then we get me home and he's like, hey, like, so you told me you didn't want to do this anymore, and then you like kissed me a lot, so I guess I'm like, I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. But I was like, yeah, I really like, I think, you know, it'd be too confusing if we're like still like think we should like take space from this. And he's like, okay. But then I don't know, the next like 1 to 2 years happened in which, you know, you take space and you don't take space.
Sorry, that's my phone.
And that's the outro.
That's an alarm to
the
say we
outro
fucked
song.
for 2 years.
No, that alarm was for something. I don't remember what it was for.
But yeah, that
For
was
the
that kind of continued until he actually got a serious girlfriend, and then it stopped. So
Okay, so an on again, off again thing.
it was like
This was pre-COVID?
this was pre-COVID. It was like pre and kind of through COVID, but obviously like
I think
during COVID, it
COVID
had
made
to
us
kinda-
all make bad decisions.
We all did a lot of sloppy things during COVID. And you know what? It's okay. We should
Yeah.
forgive ourselves.
Yeah.
Except for you, Karen. We see you.
She's gonna hate me.
I don't know if I'm looking into the camera.
Although she's not going to listen to this at all. I
Just
bet.
my camera.
I've told her to follow our improv Instagram account. She still hasn't done that.
We'll just DM her the
Yeah.
clips.
No,
It's all
please
good.
don't.
Yeah.
but yeah, that's my I guess fuckboy story. Of being the
Nice.
fuckboy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on where he was at too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's not, this was a very the mutual fucking.
Yeah,
of,
like if any, I was the only one hurting myself through the
Sure.
whole thing. Because through the whole thing, even when it was like after all that, I would like still like wanted more of his attention and wanted it to be more than it was, but was like also the reason it wasn't that because I like knew that he couldn't be what I needed it to be. But like was having a very hard time creating that distance.
Sure.
So
Did you find yourself dating a lot during COVID?
no,
No. Okay.
I'm very bad at dating.
Yeah.
that
I'm there
mean?
with you.
okay. I didn't know what that yeah was for. Like
Sorry.
you're happy about Justine not dating well, or okay.
Well, there you have it, folks. We're not all perfect.
Yeah. This
I
turned into an
know.
episode of Am I the Asshole?
Right.
I know the audience at home, that's what they were thinking. They were thinking going into this episode, wow.
They're probably
so
they're probably
perfect.
so smug right now listening to this. They're just like, I would never ever do this to someone. I would never do this to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Meanwhile,
liar.
they're about to buy a truffle, going to Bottle Rocket or something, break up with a whole bunch of people.
No, he's doing very well right now.
Nice.
As far as I know, he's been in a relationship for I think like 2 years.
Yeah.
They seem good.
Is it with Bella?
Is this Bella's
Ooh.
husband?
Whoa, we don't
Whoa,
know.
worlds collide.
Whoa.
Out
How
of curiosity,
bad?
do you know his girlfriend or what she looks like?
Yes, I don't know her, but I know what she looks
You know
like.
what she looks like?
Yeah.
Is it anywhere near the look that you have?
We're both white women.
Uh-huh.
But
Trying to be more
but no, other than that, she's very tall. I think she's taller than him, and he was like 5'11", so I think she's at least like 6 foot.
Wow. Dylan knows
Um,
about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's she's like a tall blonde woman.
Okay.
Mm.
Bella. Benham.
Mhm.
Do you know what Bella's boy
Yes, I
looks
met
like?
him. Yeah, when they came for when they
Did they stay at your
visited.
place?
No, they didn't stay at my place. They
You guys can have my bed. I'll
came
take
for
the
dinner.
bathroom.
They came to my improv show too. They came to my
Oh,
and
nice.
watched my improv show too. I invited them.
It was a hot tub scene.
There's a hot tub scene.
Wait,
yeah.
did you invite them to a fucked up relationship show?
No,
'Cause
I-
that would be great.
That would
Yeah.
be crazy. No, I invited them to a Mindbender show.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. No comment. He is also a white guy.
Okay. Does he look like you?
Wow.
No, he does not look like me.
Okay.
I don't know. He has a beard and same colored hair, but I don't think his like facial structure follows my facial structure.
Gotcha.
And he's probably very different personality-wise, which is probably a good thing.
You're
No.
great.
Yeah.
Thanks. Anyway.
As long as you're not anything like Karen, I think you're a great person.
Yeah.
John is really locked into this
Karen, I apologize
I don't.
so profusely.
Sue me.
Every time you say I apologize, we're gonna say I hate you. Yeah.
That's
We'll
right.
fill in
Cut
the
that
audio clip. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the one time they'll edit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we
And the part where
officially,
you outed yourself.
we officially have enough
Yeah,
audio.
make that into like one of your little like
Yeah.
short,
A short.
You're-
Yeah.
and just pump it through Facebook so all my
We'll
relatives
put like a
definitely see
really
it.
dumb TikTok song.
If you
want
want to tag like the
We're
Arizona
gonna put you in
cousins
a,
just so they're all
And
up to date.
we'll title
like a
it
pride
Oops, I'm Gay.
compilation. People coming after their parents.
Via podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh shit.
It's very niche
Yeah.
compilation.
I would watch the shit out of those compilations if that existed.
They well, not about podcasts, but they do exist.
What?
People coming out compilations.
Yeah, but on
Yeah.
accident.
I watched so many
Or
in
like,
2015.
you do? Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, it
that's
wasn't by
great.
accident. No, it was like people calling.
Were they like
fun.
heartfelt?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Well, it was when Obergefell came out. YouTube had this thing ready to go, which I'm thinking they made months in advance.
What came out?
It's just like this big compilation of people coming, like famous videos
Oh, yeah.
of people coming out to their parents, and they're all sad. It's heart tugging.
Well,
We're living in a different world.
It's true. We really are. We
Things are
really
a
are.
yeah, it's different.
I don't know when we started. Do you?
We're at 54 minutes.
Let's listen to a write-in.
Yeah, of a random person.
Who's this
Mm.
guy?
A stranger.
who couldn't be here today. He's tall and lanky. We love him. His name's Tim.
Has a lot of
Your
t-shirts.
boyfriend. Do you know this story? Were you with him when he did it?
I was so actually I stepped out to get us coffees and then I came back. He was supposed to be making breakfast. He's like, I made no progress because Dylan asked me to do this thing, and then also my dad called me. I'm like, busy time.
Nice. Hopefully he killed two birds with one stone and told his dad.
I'm hoping he accidentally recorded the conversation with his
With his dad
and
instead.
that's what we get to listen to.
So I asked him if I knew this story because I feel like I know most of his stories.
Sure.
And he said he doesn't think so, and that it's from middle school.
Oh.
So that's the
Ooh.
preface that we
That's
have.
exciting.
Now, hopefully,
Hot.
it's on theme, and he's also the fuckboy in this.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
not,
Well, if we know Tim
In middle school.
in middle school.
Oh, I feel like the people at home should know. By the way, Tim was in a movie.
what?
Oh
in
yeah.
middle
yeah,
school.
yeah.
Were you there
Uh,
when we watched this?
and
No.
Endgame was the name of the film,
Endgame's the name
That's
of
so
the-
odd.
which is very
What?
funny because
Oh
he
my
tells
God.
people he was in Endgame, and
All
they-
he is doing is this.
yeah, he's a
He's
little
a
baby Boy
Boy
Scout.
Scout, which he really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a thing where this movie was like being shot in Spokane, where he grew up, and I guess they like reached out to his Boy Scout troop and were like, "Hey, like we need extras for this movie," and so he and like 5 other little Boy Scouts are like saluting the flag right after the president dies, and he's on screen
Whoa.
for like 2 seconds,
That's crazy.
And now he's famous.
and now he's
It's
famous.
All right, Tim, here we go.
I'm going to talk about Katie from middle school. She was a part of a group that I was hanging out with first that got me into like watching like risque movies. I wasn't supposed to because I was a nice Christian kid. But at these birthday parties that she was at, we would watch movies like Clerks 2, I remember seeing, and like Scary Movie, like 3 or 4, and feeling like way out of my comfort zone. But all these folks were like laughing, and I was like slowly initiated into like into the world in some ways. I also developed like I started swearing like a sailor in middle school, and it was through this like new badass kid identity that I started dating Katie, who basically just told us that we were going to start dating. And dating in middle school kind of just meant that we would wear a bit of each other's clothing. Like I would wear her studded belt.
Wow.
Nothing's
because
changed.
Our relationship is not
early
developed.
aughts and studded belts were in, and she would wear my beanies. We only did one
Slut.
official date, which was my mom picked us up with her minivan, drove us to the roller skating rink, and the whole drive, Katie couldn't physically speak. She was like mortified that she was in the car with my mom, and my mom would try to like start up conversations, and Katie just literally couldn't talk. It was very strange. And we got to the skating rink. Everything was totally fine. Everything was cool. And then as soon as we got back in the car, she like clammed up again. It was super scared to talk to my mom. The dating didn't last for more than like a couple of months, where I guess things just stopped, I suppose. And that was my experience dating Katie in middle school.
Wow.
So
Thanks, Tim.
Katie, such a fuckboy.
Fuck Katie,
Oh my gosh.
right?
Gross.
Katie makes Karen look like
Richard
church
Nixon.
deacon. Oh,
Yeah.
we went two different ways with that.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions for Tim so that he can answer offline? I don't know.
Nailed
That's what we do
podcasting.
here.
Sure.
Did he figure out why she didn't want to talk in the
I
car?
think it's better for us to make assumptions about
Okay,
what happened.
I think it's
Yeah.
probably she was like, "Why is your mom taking us?"
Yeah,
to
it's an
the
awkward
date?"
chaperone date.
But it's also middle school, so it's like he can't drive.
yeah, and adults are everywhere when you're in middle school.
Yeah.
On it, like every date you're on.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Did you do that? Did you wear like the clothing?
It's funny
I mean,
to
I know
me
you're still
that
doing
like
it.
I think Tim and I had different eras of our like intensity as Christians, because like I was very, very Christian when I was younger and was like super sold out, and then I kind of deconstructed through like high school, and he was like kind of loosey goosey with it, in my opinion. If he was like running around watching scary movies and swearing, like he was whatever, but then he got to college and that's when he got super intense.
Oh.
No,
He
I was
loosey and goosey like a Christian puppet, maybe,
that's exactly
or one of the
correct.
Veggie Tales, like
Mm.
Larry the
Yeah,
Cucumber.
and a real Larry the
Where
Cucumber
did you go
energy.
to college?
Berkeley.
The most Christian of colleges.
You said where did I go to college? Or
No,
where-
Tim.
Oh, Tim.
Southern
No,
Oregon?
Tim went to Southern Oregon University.
The most Christian of
That's
colleges.
right. No, he basically joined a cult during
Okay,
college.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, I was much too scared and devout. for
Sure.
I didn't start swearing. I started swearing, I think, like maybe around my senior year, and it was a fun time because there was that era of time where like I could drop an F-bomb and everyone in the room would react like I'd killed someone, because it was like so weird to hear Justine cuss that it was very powerful.
Not that anybody.
No, it was like the fact that like I
you did it.
was like, oh whoa, like she's turned.
Whoa.
Wow.
You've changed.
And
That's
now you're
when
doing
you
it on
knew.
stage professionally.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's true.
that is true.
And I continue to make my family proud here.
I remember I was
That's right.
playing Sonic CD, and that CD came in the Jack in the Box meal
This is a video game that was on a CD,
on a CD.
not like Sonic Cool.
but it was also
Dude.
called Sonic CD, I think, the game.
Oh.
And I was probably in middle school, and I remember playing that in my friend's mom's bedroom because she had the computer in her room. This isn't when computers were all over the house. And I remember saying "fuck" for the first time.
Yeah.
And my friend like dropped everything. He's like, "What's
And
going on?"
did your friend's
here?"
mom come around the corner like Jennifer Coolidge in American Pie saying, "Oh hey,
Oh,
I've
I
never
see you're
noticed
growing
you
a little
before."
mustache now. Yeah.
Oof.
It was great, and that's how I lost my virginity. That's that story. No, it was just the first
Wow.
time I said "fuck," and I remember like my friend, like everything changed there.
Sure.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Whoa.
I have a friend from grad school to this day. He'll say every curse word when he wants to say fuck.
No.
You can't get him to say it. It's
He'll say all the rest of
I
them.
will
Weird
say
as-
if
yeah, he says all the
if
rest of
I
them.
had gotten to this point in my life and never said it, I probably wouldn't want to break the streak. You
Oh.
kind of at that point, it's like a fun special thing you got going.
then it's just a lot of pressure. What if you?
That's why Behnam still doesn't make moves in hot tubs. He's trying not to break the
It's the
streak.
He's
streak.
never once made a move in
True.
a hot tub, and he never will.
Or now I do have a question about this. Behnam, was Tim's mom there making everybody awkward?
I think so.
Didn't
That's
say
why I
it to
was
any-
mortified to do anything.
Yeah.
Couldn't say anything.
Yeah.
That same friend that I'm talking about, who I said "fuck" in front of, we didn't realize this until like we were adults, but he would just regularly throw up. And we had no clue what was going on, like stomach issues or whatever. We'd be like sitting in the car talking, and then he'd just roll down the window and then just puke outside the window and then roll the window back. It was wild.
It's probably
We
your
realized it was
presence.
anxiety like way later, but we had
Whoa.
no clue.
That's rough.
We were children. Yeah. How could
Oh.
you know? Very fun.
Oh, I'm on camera. Well, we're about an hour into this.
Is that your wrap-up sign?
No.
Oh, that was great. Like doing it to nobody.
I
like-
just
Yeah.
I just want a boogie.
You want to know more
Normally
about?
it's someone off camera that does it.
I don't know more about your friend's vomit.
Yeah. That's what that was. Anyways, this has been Your Fucked Up Relationship, the podcast. Please check out Your Fucked Up Relationship every Friday and Saturday night at Endgames Improv in the Mission District here in San Francisco. 9 o'clock that show happens, but
9
we
o'clock?
have shows from Thursday to Saturday.
In addition, I would also check out Forever Improv.
Yeah.
Follow them
which
on
Justine is a
Instagram.
producer of. Follow them on Instagram. What's the
The
handle?
Instagram is Forever Improv.
Forever Improv. No underscores.
No underscores.
Wow. Hear that,
Yeah,
Karen?
we're every
Wow.
other week. We've got one coming up this Friday, but I think that means nothing for when this is coming out. But hopefully by the time this comes out, we'll still be doing them every other Friday. We'll have an 8 p.m. show called Tantrum, which rotates kind of what's going on there. And then our standing 9 p.m. show. So check us out.
Before
Thank
we
you.
transition, why is it called Tantrum?
It was a name Jeff pitched, I think, because it's like trying to kind of break the norms and do some experimental stuff. Do you have an idea of why it's called
No,
Tantrum?
I still don't know what the word tantrum really means.
It's like
It's like
throwing
when
a fit.
throw
Yeah,
a
it's like
fit.
when
Oh,
a kid in a
Oh.
grocery store starts crying.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
flailing.
I think the idea behind it is like the idea behind Tantrum is to do like kind of experimental stuff and like push the boundaries of improv. And
But it's a fun word. It's like an active.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
word.
mean, I love the concept. I just didn't know why it was called Tantrum.
Yeah, I would take that up with Jeff.
Okay.
He'd pitched the name.
You hear that, Jeff? You have a detractor. And his name is Behnam.
Venom, do you have anything you want to plug?
Yes. Justine, me, and John are on an indie team called Industrial Kitchen. So we perform regularly throughout the Bay Area, and you can follow at Industrial Kitchen Improv to get the latest updates.
Thank you for that. Dylan, you got anything coming up?
Live shows. Oh yeah, check out mine and Benham's team puppet show.
Oh yeah.
Christian Puppets.
Christian Puppets. It's called Puppet
Ken
Party.
Davis.
We'll start
Featuring Ken Davis.
featuring Ken Davis.
And Larry the Cucumber Cable Guy.
Cable guy, yeah. Ken Davis will be opening up for us. Those will start in May, I believe. We'll have monthly shows there.
At All Out Comedy.
All Out Comedy.
I like
Shh,
comedy.
AOC in Oakland.
What?
in Oakland, that's correct. And check out Color Circuit, my other YouTube channel. All right. Thanks.
Cool.
Thanks so much,
Thank you,
Justine.
guys.
Thank you,
so much for
Behnam.
coming.
Thank you for
Thank you,
having
thank you.
us.
And we'll catch you next
Bye.
time.
Bye.
Where am I looking?